Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, the Mullet Man, Travis Hinton. You're watching Five Star Takes, and I'm here to show you what Mullet Mania is all about. Be sure to tune in now on YouTube.
Why are we even? Are we? Wait, is this 5 star takes or is this 5 star disco fever?
It's a 5-star party. We're having a little party. Tell
Potty.
ya, party time. Well, that's my
Wait,
pencil.
party or potty? It sounded like you said potty.
Well, it's either way, man. There's always a party in the potty.
So we got a very special episode lined up for you today. Unfortunately, Shane could not join us. He's taking a well-deserved rest and stuff. And by the way, I believe he's still looking for a job, isn't he?
Sure, yeah, I think so. Anyway, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
We love you, buddy. And
Yes.
I think I reached out. I reached into my bag of tricks, and I did get a replacement. I did get a third member for this evening, a very special guest. So I think we'll do our quick intro here, and maybe you know what we'll dive in and bring on our very special guest.
Ooh, well, then in that case, let's go.
Cue the music. Oh man, here we go. We have our very special guest, straight from Pierce Mountain, the cold hard truth, Johnny Pierce. Man, I'm so stoked. Welcome to the show, man.
Yes, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, I should be thanking you guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm from Pierce Mountain. I'm also from some other places.
Yeah, where is Pierce Mountain, man?
I mean, in terms of like latitude and longitude, I can't confirm or deny exactly where it is. What I can say is it's a little bit bigger than Mullet Mountain.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
How far away are you from parts unknown?
As far as you would think.
Man, a little bigger than Mullet Mountain. We love Mullet Mountain, man. We're big Mullet Men fans over
Let's
here.
Let's just say it takes a little bit more to get to the peak of Pierce Mountain. Many have tried, all have failed.
I will say I was telling DDJ, I was like, he's a big man. I'm like, well, you're like 6'6"?
Yeah, 6'6".
Yeah, man.
304 pounds right now.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm 6'3", but I'm only 215. So
I'm
6'1",
but I'm a lot bigger. I'm a lot heavier than that, but that's all in my gut. So
yeah, man. No, that's one of the things that I've seen you a bunch of times now. I'm a big ETWA and Green Mountain Wrestling fan. I try and get out there anytime I can.
Woo!
I'm out in the in the Northeast, so I'm sort of up near Barton area enough where it's like that's an easy burn for me, and I love going and seeing the shows up in the Elks Lodge, and going to Green Mountain Wrestling is great too. I saw you out in Johnson at the fundraiser there, which was really fun because one of the things I like is I see you work. I mean, you work a little more face, I feel like, up in ETWA, but getting to see you, like just be the bad guy is great too, because you got the look, and now you got your valet now, which is awesome too, man. And yeah, I mean, do you have a preference of what you work? Or you just like I mean, do you just like doing whatever, or is one come more
Ah,
naturally to you? Because
I tell you, man, heel all the way. I debuted as a heel. I work everywhere as a heel, and it's natural.
yeah,
The babyface work that people are seeing at ETWA is brand new. It's one of two places that I do that. The other place is Maine for the NAWA with Larry
yeah,
Huntley. Um, so the babyface is new. It's still coming together, but if a promoter needs a big bad heel, I can pretty much turn on the switch to the cold hard truth, Johnny Pierce, in no time.
yeah, man. And that's what I was seeing. I mean, it's like anytime you get out there, you really work the crowd. You're very good at like responding to what's going on in the ring. And it's been a lot of fun, just being able to see both sides of it, as someone who just likes to get around and watch as much wrestling as I can. That's been great.
Yeah.
I will say, like, my goal when I go out there, it doesn't matter if I'm cheered or booed. The goal is to connect with at least one person in the crowd, give them a moment that one of the other matches like may not give them, that particular person. So that's one of my goals when I go through there.
Nice,
I
man.
I really like hearing that, because that's one of the things. And I've talked with Isaac, many times about indie wrestling and why I'm such a huge fan of it. I'm from the Chicago area. I'm about 45 minutes west of Chicago.
Woo!
Yeah. Um and stuff.
It's a
But
hotbed.
oh, it is definitely. There's tons of independent promotions on here, and one of the things that I love about indie wrestling out here is that intimacy that the talent has, that with the fans. And I mean, I watch like WWE and AEW, and I mean it's great stuff and all that, but I don't feel like there's that intimacy, or that the wrestlers can have with the fans that like they can have at an indie show. And so that's why I really liked hearing it. One question, my first question, and this is something I always ask when we interview wrestlers: how did you discover pro wrestling?
Well, I mean, I was a young kid going to the beach with my family. It's a small family. I had an older brother, my mother, and my father, and I have memories of being maybe like 5 or 6 years old, taking the little figurines like the Hulk Hogan's, the Macho Man's, and burying them in the sand. So
Are we talking the
um,
the Hasbros or the LJNs?
the ones that are bendy, I don't
Okay,
know which one.
those are the LJNs, I
I
believe.
still have them. I can go get some. I got Junkyard Dog, which is cool because
Oh wow.
my finishing move is his finishing move, the running
Oh,
power slam,
the thump.
the thump. Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
different
hell yeah.
name for it, but that's neither here nor there.
What's what do you call it? What do you call it?
So with the sports background, with Johnny Pierce, originating from being a Celtics fan, Paul Pierce, at one point in my
Mhm.
uh, childhood being like someone I considered the best player in the entire world when he was the MVP of the
Oh, he
finals.
was a hell of a player.
Um,
Oh yeah.
because of that, when I have a sports background, so like one of the things that you do at the end of the game when you've got a lead is you either, you know, wave the white flag and put the bench in, or you keep the starters in and you run up the score. So I decided to call the power slam the run it up power slam, which is me
Okay.
saying I'm running up the score on you, you know.
Oh, nice, man.
Ah,
I
nice,
like that.
nice, nice.
I like that a lot. So you a lot of basketball. You play basketball mostly through high school and then
I
on.
came out of the womb with a basketball,
I
so
mean, Jesus,
uh,
you got the size. I'm fucking see. I'm half Jewish, and that half was the uncoordinated half. And like, I may be tall, but god damn, dude, I trip over my own feet.
Yeah, and me,
yeah, I mean,
when it comes to my athletic background, I'm just the nerdy white guy that
let's
was always the
go.
last one on the team picked, and I was perfectly fine with that.
I mean, I got to get you guys on the dance floor. Two left feet.
Oh, there you go. I can at
That's where
least
my
dance.
whiteness
Yeah.
really shows, is on the dance floor.
Yeah, you guys got to attend a party in Pierce City and show your moves.
Oh hell yeah, man! Well, speaking of parties, dude, you just wrestled at a party You were
Oh, yeah.
you and Mullet Man faced off at a wedding, dude. That's
Oh
fucking
my God!
sure
awesome.
did.
Yes.
We sure
How
did.
how
Yeah.
was that? What was that like? That must have been a lot of fun.
I mean, we didn't really know what to expect. We just knew that there was a happy couple getting married on that day. Glenn and Margie, wanted to shout them out on the
Hell
podcast,
yeah,
and they
absolutely.
hired Green Mountain
Congratulations.
to have one match
Wow, that's pretty cool.
or whatnot. Anyway, we're back.
Oh
Is
no,
this
good.
thing on?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So they hired you to
So
get to do the one match.
they brought they requested Mullet and I, and you know
Oh, that's awesome.
we had some issues at the venue. There were low ceilings, which I'm definitely used to. I kind of like joked with everybody about it, like almost in a Bane voice, like, "You think low ceilings can stop me? I was born in the low ceiling." So
Yo, right?
there were some things to work around, like the low ceilings. There was like a fan, a ceiling fan, some lights. So a lot of my offense was limited, and like I
Yeah.
like to pick people up and put them down. So we just had to work around it, and we told a story where uh, Selena Hikate, my valet, was my
Yeah,
special
yeah.
guest referee,
That's what I saw
and
that, man. She,
there was a mix-up at the end, of course, and
of course.
Margie, the bride, ended up coming in to relieve Selena of her special guest referee duties, and she screwed me. She screwed me on the count. It was a fast count. It was a fast count.
Oh man, those brides on their wedding day, bridezillas, man. You gotta watch
She
out
was.
for them.
That's you look up the definition of a bridezilla.
Yeah,
It's
man,
Margie.
going into business for herself.
Ridiculous.
That's
Burn your boots and quit the business.
the
Oh
one thing
wow.
the one thing I was most worried about with my wife on our wedding day was she going to make it on time, because anyone that knows my wife knows that punctuality is not her strongest suit, but surprisingly she made it to the wedding on time. So
Boom.
No, my ex-wife, she forgot the rings, so my brother
It
had to
happens.
drive across Vermont back roads like
I
80.
mean, I got this friend of mine. He had to recently defend his tag title. We got all the way to the venue, and he forgot his tag title.
He forgot his belt. Oh no,
oh,
how do you
So he had to
forget?
go.
Oh,
I don't know. His brother came and brought it, but it was crazy.
oh, that was nice of him. But yeah, dude, you give
Yeah.
that guy a lot of shit for a while, don't you?
Yeah.
uh,
Every time I see him.
yeah.
so,
Oh yeah, you can't let him forget that.
yeah. So here I got another question here. So I'm always also intrigued by when I interview wrestlers or when we interview wrestlers, like trying to get an idea of like who some of the guys you looked up are to. So I'm gonna ask you this. Who were some of the guys that when you started watching wrestling you were drawn to? And then when you became a wrestler, who was someone that you tried to pattern yourself after?
I mean, pretty early on, it was Kane. Being the younger brother in my
Mm.
household, he was Undertaker. I was Kane. If you got Super Mario Brothers, he's Mario on Luigi. The pattern goes on and on.
Hey, I'm a
Uh,
Luigi guy all the way.
yeah,
So
Luigi's way cooler.
yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Uh,
So is Kane, and when he showed up,
Kane was
man.
cooler. Yeah, yeah. Until he
Kane's
became
debut.
a Republican or whatever.
Dude, yeah, Governor Kane. Maybe I'm not voting for him, but yeah, his debut is still one of my all-time favorite debuts, man. That's gotta be Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what beside was it just the fact that he was a younger brother that you just kind of drawn to, or was there?
My brother was such an Undertaker fan that I just naturally
Ah,
gravitated toward Kane. It happened when Bill Goldberg came on the scene. My brother was
mhm.
such a Goldberg fan that I would just root against whoever Goldberg was facing, and so on and so forth. So early on it was Kane, and then as I got older, I liked Batista a lot. Um,
Sorry, he's watching the Brewers, man.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
I'm.
okay. It's all
Yeah,
good.
they just
Yeah, yeah.
scored 2 runs in the top of the 8th to go up 6-4 against St. Louis. Like I said, I'm a huge Milwaukee Brewers fan, and I warned Isaac before. I said they're still playing, and I've got it on. So.
It's all good. I thought you were clapping for Kane, and I was about to say, yeah.
Well, no, Kane is really cool because I mean, I did like Isaac said, you go back to the entrance, the mystique, and everything, back in the day, and he's just one of those guys that was really very good at constantly reinventing himself. I mean,
Yeah.
when he had to unmask, I remember sitting there watching, like, what are they going to make his face look like? And the way they explained that, they did the whole convict thing where he set Jim Ross on fire and he electrocuted Shane McMahon's testicles and stuff. And then just like when he went to be in, corporate Kane with the Authority, I mean, it's just, he's really talented. And I think when it comes to the pantheon of big men, like when you talk about some of the all-time greats, I think he gets overlooked because I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for.
He does. He's so overlooked. The man was so dependable. He for a long streak of time. I don't know if he still does. He had like the record for most Royal Rumble eliminations and pay-per-views, and it was nuts.
I think he's still. I'll look it up. I'll see if I can look it up and see. But I think he still.
You know what's crazy?
Does.
They had him in line to beat Rollins for that title, and then Rollins blew out his knee. So it hurt for me being I wanted to see him have that last run.
Moment.
But
Yeah.
let us not forget about Dr. Isaac Yankem.
Dr. Isaac Yankem, DDS, man.
While we're at it, let's show some love for the fake Diesel.
Fake Diesel,
Fake
yeah.
Diesel.
I remember those old vignettes with fucking Jerry Lawler going to the dentist. You're like, yeah, it's my dentist. You're like, Jesus Christ, Jerry. Like,
yeah, I was saying,
down.
as I got older, I was like watching a lot of Batista and admiring Batista.
Yeah.
When Bobby Lashley first came on the scene, I was like, that's a no-brainer. I love me some Bobby Lashley. Randy Orton, I think he's the greatest to ever do it, and I'll take that.
He's another one I think doesn't get all the love he should get.
Yeah, when you like Mount Rushmore of wrestling and you don't even consider bringing him up, that's an L.
And he does have. I did confirm he does hold the record for most Rumble eliminations of all time. He technically actually has 46 of all time, 45 as Kane, and 1 as Isaac Yankem.
There you go. And it all counts. Funny. It all counts, right?
Absolutely.
I would say Sheamus was a big influence, and Mike Miz Mizanin. Those are pretty much round me out. Kane, I do a choke slam. I call it the choke artist slam because of Spike Lee at the Garden.
Okay.
Yes. Miller. So
yes.
Choke slam is after Kane. I do a choke artist slam, and then I like to do power bombs. I don't want to sit out with it, but Batista would do the Batista bomb, and mine is just standing up. So I like to do power bombs.
Basically like Nash or Sid.
Yeah, like Nash. Yeah.
Okay.
I do a similar elbow that Nash does in the corner. I mean, I didn't really care for Nash growing up, and the more I learned about him, I was like, yeah, he doesn't really do it for me. He was cool. I mean, being part of the NWO was cool as fuck.
Oh,
I swearing on here?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude! Please. Yeah. Oh, fuck! Please swear.
And then like the click, that was cool. So, I didn't think he was like very good in the ring. I thought he was like limited.
He was a big man, but I mean, the worker was always Scott. And with
that's what I mean. Yeah.
And Scott, I mean, another guy who, I mean, kind of his own fault ultimately, but is overlooked in the, as one of those guys who is just a top tier worker in every sense. I mean, you watch him work. I mean, on the mic, his presence, like he still, up until recently, the best Stone Cold Stunner Cell of all time. Like the guy.
He also was one of those guys that had a really great, phenomenal connection with the crowds everywhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and I'm glad, rest in peace. I'm glad he managed to find some peace at the end and get sober and take care of himself, because, we got a lot of time with him that, I didn't think we were going to have. And to see him make it in the Hall of Fame was just
it was huge.
A really cool moment. Yeah, and it's nice to see that with guys like him. So I want to ask, I mean, going back to sports, you're talking about sports guys. I mean, outside of basketball, I mean, what about baseball? You a baseball fan?
I mean, I was a huge Red Sox fan.
Okay.
Yeah. Growing up, I was a huge Red Sox fan, and now that they kind of suck, it's like hard to root for them.
Yeah.
Because they suck so bad.
It goes back to, I mean, it's back to the roots.
I try to take sports influences anywhere I can get them. So if I wear a backwards hat, it's because of Ken Griffey Jr., who was my favorite player growing up.
I love Griffey.
Man, we were talking about who we think our all-time greatest player is, and Ken Griffey Jr. is right up there with Barry Bonds for me.
He's actually I don't remember if when we were talking about this, if I mentioned that.
You didn't get to say, yeah.
No, but that's honestly, Griffey was going to be mine. And I think about, and I say this and I stand by this to the day, if Griffey didn't have the injury issues that he had, he would have the all-time home run record.
He'd have a lot of records. And the other guy, I think that, man, is we as fans of sports in general were robbed of magnificence with Bo Jackson. Because that guy, I mean, had he just played either football or baseball.
Yeah, because he was a beast at both of them.
Yeah, like he would have been a Hall of Fame player in whatever he chose. And, you know, like his own power was what, broke him. But, God, I would have loved to see a full, healthy career of Bo Jackson. Holy shit.
You guys remember Nomar Garcia-Parra with the batting gloves? So I try to wear gloves in the ring for different reasons. I draw a little inspiration from Nomar. Football, big Patriots fan, but when I use social media, sometimes I'll write with like Cam Newton font, just because why the hell not? You know, I'd like to think that the heel Cold Hard Truth character is a bit of a psycho. He doesn't trust anybody. He talks to turnbuckle pads. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like sometimes I'll have a conversation with the turnbuckle pad because I'm convinced it's the only thing that's listening to me and telling me the truth. And you take that from not a real sports influence, but George the Animal Steel would bite the turnbuckle pad.
Yep.
My first indie wrestling show, I saw, rest in peace, Reverend talk to his mask and thought that was cool. So I think
that's really good.
I try to talk to the turnbuckle pad to keep him going. There's a lot of sports influences from wherever I can get them. I mean, I've been trying to get the Johnny Manziel over. I don't know if that's working. I'll do Carmelo Anthony sometimes. Three to the head.
Nice.
I just started doing the MVP ball and elbow drop, but
hell yeah!
One person who I've only met once is blowing up on the scene right now. I don't want to step on toes or steal their thunder. Is Jermaine Marbury, which is funny because my gimmick has a little bit of basketball in it too. It's just that he's so over the top with it that like I just feel anytime I do something related to basketball, it might take away from what he's doing, and I don't want to mess with that. I just want to be unique, So if I go for an elbow drop, you might see me do. If I'm a baby face, I might hit the swish on that one.
So I want to back up a little bit. Something you said there. So you talked about talking to the turnbuckles. What is it? How does a conversation with the turnbuckle pad go?
Well, what I usually start off with is that everyone in the crowd that's booing me, and shoot, even the ones that are, you guys said I could swear, shit.
Oh fuck,
even the ones that are cheering me, in my mind, as a bad guy, I cannot trust anything anyone's telling me. So I usually lead with that. I usually tell the turnbuckle pad, they're all lying. They're all liars. I got a bunch of liars talking to me, and I can't really disclose what gets said back, but it's something along the lines of, "You're right, Johnny. Keep your head on straight. Don't listen to these people, and go do what you do."
That's good advice from a turnbuckle pad.
Oh man, yeah. I've gotten worse advice from real people. So
yeah, the turnbuckle pad is real trustworthy. I mean, I talk to it every match.
Oh man, you guys sound like you have a great relationship.
Do you have a particular turnbuckle pad that you?
Yeah, no. I know what you're saying, but no, they're all treated the exact same. Like I think to me, it's the same turnbuckle pad no matter where I go or what color it is or what ring I'm in. But I will say this: I start at the bottom and I warm up my hands at the bonfire. That's a football touchdown celebration,
Hell
right?
All
yeah.
right.
Then I talk to the turnbuckle and lean in on the second one, and then at the top, I'll bash my head 3 times. Now, most people will be like, "What do you think? You're Bill Goldberg?" No, that's Kevin Garnett warming up for a game at the Garden.
Hell yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
He would bash his head into the post in the basketball hoop to warm up.
Kevin
Yep.
Garnett is another great.
Yeah, they had a nice run there with him.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I remember my buddy had a autographed Ray Allen ball and jersey from the Celtics, and fucking he got mad. Like he got really mad when he left to
Oh
go
no.
to Miami or whatever, and he sold it to me.
Oh.
He sold them both to me for $50. And I gave him to fucking my buddy who is a diehard Celtics fan. I was like,
Yeah, he paid top dollar.
I just gave him to. I gave him to
Oh,
my
you gave,
friend.
that was nice.
Yeah, because
man.
I got him for $50, and I'm like, dude, I don't want him, but I know somebody who would want this for $50 fucking dollars.
Let me
You know,
just say
like,
this real quick. What you guys did for the St. Jude Foundation, I had no idea what the dollar amount was going to be.
oh yeah, man.
One thing I did know was like I wasn't going to take any money for doing the podcast, but I just want to say like I really do appreciate what you guys are doing for St. Jude's.
Oh hell yeah, man! No, I mean, thank you for that honor. We
Yeah.
always try and offer people something because I mean, Lord knows that it's not easy out there, and fucking your time is valuable, and we want to make sure you know that. And when as soon as you're like, oh yeah, St. Jude's, I've always thought that was a great fucking charity, so I wanted to make sure I fucking I did the right thing there, and yeah, no, thank you for choosing them because it's always nice to be able to help out other people and
Especially
just
the kids.
oh hell yeah, man. So thank you for that, even if it goes against your heel gimmick. But I have a feeling that the turnbuckle
Wait till you
pad would
guys see this
say,
babyface thing, man. Like I'll tell you a little bit about it. I call myself the Throwback Truth because I'm trying to get over Throwback Thursday as a hashtag TBT, and that I took from one of my buddies in wrestling, Chris Mojo. He was wrestling as Man Crush Monday, Mucho Chris Mojo.
okay,
So he's
that's
off the
great.
scene right now for injury, and I reached out to him when my new gear came in, and I was like, "Do you approve of this?" Because it has the hashtag TBT on it, and he said he appreciated it.
Hell yeah.
Basically, the gimmick is the party boy. So if you guys know Rob Gronkowski off the field
Yes.
Oh,
and Chris Pontius from Jackass,
yes.
that's kind of
Yes.
what I'm
I
going
love
for.
Party Boy.
Where you want to party with Johnny, and he invites you to the party that's happening in Pierce City. But when the bell rings, like I'm gonna kick your ass, and then when the bell rings, when it's over, we're going right back to the party. The
Hell
only
yeah.
person not invited is the opponent that's a heel. I mean, baby faces are welcome. I mean, let's keep it real.
Nice, man. Are you
But
gonna is Selena gonna be a valet for that, or
my goodness, let me tell you this
is that
story real
strictly
quick.
heel?
She's already valeting me as a baby face, and we went to ETWA Summer Heat in June. I had an open challenge, and the way that we set up the beginning of the match before the bell rang was that we had 3 cups with glow sticks in the cups. So when the lighting hit, it was like pretty freaking cool. So we set them up in a triangle, one end near the corner turnbuckle and 3 on the other end. And I'm a basketball player, okay? And I drank pretty heavily in college, and I was pretty good on the beer pong table, and it's my freaking gimmick, goddammit. But Selena Hicate showed me up in front of the entire crowd, hitting all 3 shots, and me not hitting a single one. So
Which show is this?
Summer Heat ETWA in June. We're gonna try to get the footage. She went bang, bang,
Wait,
bang, and I whipped on all 3.
Was this in Newport?
No, I was in It was in Derby.
Derby
And,
at the Elks Lodge.
At the Elks Lodge. And
Yeah,
so,
I was there. Okay, was that
bruh,
Was that the last? Was that the last
yeah,
show
that
of
was the
the?
last ETWA
Yes.
show.
Okay, dude.
And bruh, there was nothing in those cups. There was no water. There was no alcohol. There was nothing to hold those cups up.
Yes,
And she sat there with all the pressure on and just went bippity boppity boop.
dude. She
And I
did.
whiffed on all three. I'm trying to make them. I'm competitive. I'm like, oh, she's trying
Yeah,
to show me up in front of these people. And she made all
dude.
three, and I missed all three. And then
That
McGill
was
came in and kicked all the cups over.
that was actually I completely
The
forgot
crowd
about
was
that.
going nuts.
Because you were, yeah, because I was there. I was there front row, man. I was in the, because I try and make all those shows. And yeah, man, I remember seeing that. And I looked over at
I think she stole the show right there.
yeah, I looked over at my lady. I was like, God damn. I was like, that's impressive.
Do you
Like,
know?
that's,
Do you know they could do a sports science episode on that? The precision and accuracy
oh, yeah.
that you have to have, right, to not only make the shot, but also like have that ball stay in that cup and not like rim out or get a.
Especially
I mean, we
on
could swear
a
on here. You
floor.
don't want a rim
Yeah.
job, right? You don't want a rim
Yeah.
job
Well,
when you're
you
playing
know.
beer pong.
Yeah. Well, it depends, you know. But,
It depends.
but, you know, I've had worse offers.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, doing that in the ring too, because it's like, I mean, it's not like as stable as a surface, you know.
No, like on a regular table
Yeah.
or something.
No, I remember seeing that and be like,
Unreal.
Jesus, that was
Unreal.
impressive. And the one thing, you know, the other thing I really liked about that show was that they had the tables set up front row there
it was interesting.
for that. And I don't know, it was kind of nice to have that, because then, you know, you come out, you can smack someone on it. And
I tell you what, one of these promoters has to smarten up. I need to slam someone through a table, but on that same breath, like, I'd be willing to go through one. It don't bother me. I've gone through tables that weren't, you know, for wrestling purposes.
yeah.
So,
I'm down. I would love to see that, man. That's my shit. I mean, I had so much fun at that last show, especially with just like the match at the end, that fucking fans bring the weapons match. Although my weapon never got used.
which one was it?
I brought tweezers,
Oh,
right?
man.
Because imagine just getting him up, you know, like getting him in the corner and pulling nose hairs out.
That would
right?
hurt so bad.
Oh
Yo.
man, it would hurt so bad. But it would be great. It would be very entertaining. It would be very good to watch and fun.
Yeah, you don't
You
see
get
that,
a definitely get a reaction from the crowd
Yeah.
with that.
For sure.
Oh my God.
Everybody can relate. It's the one thing
Oh.
I like when I'm calling a match, putting a match together is, and I don't want to speak for you guys. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Like,
No, please
you want to
speak
make
for
it relatable. Like, you want
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, put something in there that everyone knows what that feels like. So, like,
Yep.
I'll tell someone, if I'm hitting you with this low blow, you better tell these people just what that feels like, because most of the men in that room are going to know what it feels like to get hit in the nuts.
Yes, absolutely.
Anytime I see a nut shot like on TV, in a movie, on Jackass or whatever,
especially
I
on
see it.
Jackass.
Yes, especially on Jackass.
But that's it. No, and that's the thing is like, you know, it's like taking a chop, like watching someone take a serious chop, right? Like, there's something about there's something very visceral and understandable about that pain, right? And about what's happening there, that you could be like, yeah, I've been slapped before, and I can imagine like that would fucking hurt.
Then
It's
you have
not-
the other
yeah.
side where you can just be Eddie Kingston and go like this, and now everybody
Machine gun
doesn't
shot.
know what the hell is going on.
Yeah. Well, and I mean,
But,
yeah, and that's the thing is like that gets rough. And I mean, one of the questions I think we're going to ask is, you know, do you watch a lot of current wrestling?
Yeah, fire away with these questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious.
All right.
What I mean, are
Yeah,
you?
what interests, like, if you follow, since you seems like you follow the current product, what are some of the things going on right now that has your attention, or like that you're a big fan of?
I mean, with the current product, like, I hate that I'm answering this way because I used to be a religious watcher. I wouldn't miss anything. I wouldn't fast forward. The only thing I would fast forward through are commercial breaks, and when they do like that little small screen, because sometimes
picture in picture.
Yeah, sometimes I just want so very badly for them to keep the larger part and put the ad on the smaller screen, and
Yes.
it's anyway. I'm so far behind that I play catch up when I can. So
Mhm.
recently speaking, Green Mountain had a back to back, and we rented a B&B and watched SummerSlam. Now, was that my idea? No, it wasn't my idea. And if it was up to me, I probably wouldn't have gone the lengths of watching it, just because, I'm so focused on getting there that, I just get behind. And then the old
Right.
me wants to watch everything in progression. I don't
Mhm.
want to. I don't want to miss a second or a minute of the programming, but it
Right.
happens the way it does. So, because of the busy lifestyle, I try to listen to Jim Cornette review it as much as I can, because he doesn't sugarcoat it. He tells you what's
No,
good
he does
and he
not.
tells you what's bad.
Mhm.
I really don't watch much of AEW at all, so I would say I watch the most I watch is actually indie stuff, and then second would be WWE, and then a very far third like AEW, and I watch more TNA Impact than I watch AEW.
Do you get into
Um,
the NXT stuff at all, or is
no,
that?
I can't. I can't. Ever since they did like I think Cornette would call it like uniform jizz or unicorn whatever. They did like a
It's gotten,
2.0
yeah,
with
it's
all the
gotten a lot
colors.
better since. I mean,
Yeah,
it's still
yeah.
colorful.
I've tried, but
Yeah.
I'll say this much. The athletes there are very talented and deserve to be there, but sometimes that style where it's ba 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 ba, it's just I can't I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. I mean, first off, NXT is honestly is my favorite weekly wrestling pro. I'm a huge NXT guy,
Yeah,
you can ask
it's
Isaac
got
about that.
it's gotten really good, but
But you
it's
were
not
talking,
it's not black and gold.
and nothing will
No, it's
ever
not.
be. And
Yeah.
but one of the things that I kind of wanted to ask you about, you talked about, the which is what I feel like a lot of AEW matches are. They're the and there's it's all, I guess you'd say, all style, no substance.
Yeah,
But I
for
mean,
sure.
like, to me, I'm a hardcore wrestling fan. I've been watching wrestling for almost, close to almost a little over 30 years. We'll just say that. And one of the things that I've really grown to learn and appreciate, especially with this resurgence of of WWE, is story. Like, how important is it in your mind
Oh, it's the
for a
only thing that
match to have
matters.
story?
It's
And
the
that,
only thing
so
that matters.
yes, thank you,
When you
because I
think
feel,
about it,
yeah.
they're just moves. They're
Hmm.
just moves.
Hmm.
So we talked about that style, right? And I'm not gonna. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a pot to piss in when I talk about it, but like for me, I'd rather see somebody slow down and do quality over quantity, right? You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I hate it when I see somebody throw the line and it's a duck and it's like it doesn't look like it's a line that could actually hurt somebody because they're just sacrificing, quality for quantity. And I want things done a certain way. I don't think I'm difficult to work with, but when I call stuff, like I'm very particular. I want it done a certain way. I don't want to look sloppy. I don't want to look
Right.
I
like
that
I'm
that's
going through the motions of a drill or something.
no, that's really interesting because it sort of makes me think of I listen to a lot of Sirius XM when I'm driving around, and one of the things I listen to is the LL Cool J radio station, and they have a thing on there, and he's talking about, it's like breaking down old beats, and he's talking about like the simplest shit, right? you know is sometimes the hardest to do because you really have to trust yourself, and you really have to trust that it's going to work, right? And you saying that makes me think of that, because I get the feeling a lot of times watching that is that these guys are so worried, that like they're not going to, like get over with it, that they're going to do everything right, and by doing everything all at once, you're not doing anything. And so that ability
Yeah.
to slow down and trust, right, that what you're doing and doing, like
It's meaningful, right? Like it
yeah.
has meaning. So, piggybacking off of that, like if somebody wants to put a move somewhere, like with me, um, it's hard because I'm still only like 2 years in of actively working, but it's like I'm not opposed to taking certain things. I just want to put it in the right place.
You
So
want it to make
if the
sense.
move, yeah, like we're taking fans on this roller coaster ride, you know? So if the move makes sense for what part of the match we're in, absolutely. But if you're just calling stuff to get your shit in, like no, I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to take a huge move from you in the beginning of the match because then guess what? We still have to go out there and wrestle. And I'm 6'6", 304 pounds. So when I do a move to somebody, it looks a certain way, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
Right?
yeah.
it
Yeah.
should be devastating when I give a power bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put it too early in my match, then we got to go out and continue wrestling, and these people are supposed to buy that narrative. Like I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I
I
mean,
get it.
if you're gonna try and sell something, like, and I think that's the thing, and it's amazing that you're in that mindset, and you're still a few years in, because you see people who are decades in the business who still
Oh,
can't figure that out.
I got to give the credit to my trainers. Obviously I listen to Jim Cornette podcasts, but the trainers echo that sentiment, whether they get it from him or not. It's just like at the end of the day, the moves are the moves, and you're the one that makes them count.
Hmm.
So why sacrifice a move when you don't have to? Like they
Yeah.
always tell me, less is more. And when you're going slow, you think you're going slow, slow down even more.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, and because one of my things I always like to say to people at my 9 to 5 job is, work smart, not hard. And I kind of feel
Yeah, we
like
try
that's
to
kind
do
of the
that.
mindset. Yeah, you want to work smart, not hard. Like I really like to think, to mention about the power bomb, like being the size guy you are, that power bomb's got to mean something.
Yeah,
And like you said, if
people
you
are
use,
scared to take that,
yeah,
and it's like one of the things we say is work smarter, not harder. Like I pride myself on the concept that we all have to get up and go to work the next day.
mm-hmm.
So in these 2 years plus that I've been actively working, there's not a soul out there that will tell you when in my match with Johnny Pierce, I wasn't able to go to work the next day.
Hell yeah.
Okay, good.
And that's, I mean, and ultimately, like you're not trying to hurt anybody,
If
and I think,
somebody's uncomfortable with something I want to do, I don't force it on them.
oh hell
That's
Right.
no, yeah,
terrible. That's terrible. And
yeah, yeah,
it's really
yeah.
unprofessional if that's done. And it happens.
So one guy I keep thinking of, listening to you talk here, and this has been really great so far. One guy I keep thinking of who I think in the WWE is doing a really good job of kind of who has a style I would say it's very similar to yours is Gunther,
Gunther.
Gun-
Gunther. I
the
knew it.
world the WWE World Heavyweight
Yo, I
Champion.
want that. I want that bad.
Yeah, well, like, what are your thoughts on like what he's been doing, basically how he's been
I
booked
mean,
since
the
he's been
gimmick is
signed
the
to
chops, right? The gimmick is
the
the chops, right? He's getting chops over.
chops.
You know how
He's
simple
getting a
that is?
Yeah.
clothesline sleeper. I mean, just
Yeah,
Well,
basic
it's
just
moves.
back to
Minoru
basic.
Suzuki. I mean, I feel like though, and I've said this for 5 years now. My dream match is Suzuki versus Gunther.
That would
Mm,
be dope.
That is my
That would be
fucking
dope.
dream match,
mm,
because you have two guys who have they're the same gimmick, right? I mean,
right.
Suzuki's just a little crazier, right? But I mean, it's
Hmm.
very much like I'm fucking tough as hell, and I will chop the hell out of you. You can chop me back, and I don't care. And I think those two going at it full
We got to
on would
add
be,
jobs in there in a triple threat, and I think we got the money
oh,
match.
Jobsy, man. I love me some Jobs, man.
Top therapy.
Watching Oh yeah, watching him take a fucking pineapple to the dome was fucking incredible.
Oh yeah, the match.
Oh my
The
god,
pineapple.
the
That was I
pineapple was just an incredible moment.
when you told Shane and I about that, like after you got back from that show, that was like I said, I can't wait to hear the story about the
I'm
pineapple.
still,
No,
yeah, we
we'd
gotta
be
get
able to
that.
watch the footage if they would just put it up, man. It's great.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting for that show because it was a. There was, I, I've said I said it on the show. That show is the most fun I've had at any fucking pro wrestling show I've ever been to.
I'm glad because
And
like the goal is for me and Selena when we're partying it up is to just spread fun. You know, I
yeah,
tell her
yeah,
Yeah.
that all the
yeah.
time. I'm like, we get really frustrated, we get really down. The hardest part of this is the mental game, and I tell her all the time, like, we're doing this to have fun. Like, we have to go out there and have fun. Every
Yeah.
time we get down, just remember, like, we're here to have fun. So let's go have fun. Let's
I
make this
like that.
fun.
I
And
like that.
she's working in ring now too, right?
Yeah, man. Green light for her.
I saw that.
ETWA debut on the come up. We just need to find the worthy opponent. And I say that
Nice.
because, you know, it's been difficult to get women to come wrestle certain places. Uh, Green Mountain, she just debuted. The match is online as of midnight
Yeah, I was just seeing
last
that.
night.
Was that Al
Um,
Valentine she was wrestling or?
no, we had a 6-person tag. It was me,
Okay.
Russian Assassin #2, and Selena Hikate versus Ultimate Powers and Adam Brunton. We got screwed again.
Again.
Yeah, these refs, I tell you, I don't
Fucking.
know who's on the payroll, but I got
Oh,
to start bringing my own refs.
yeah, man. Or at least, yeah, bring out your own shirt. The
Yeah,
cold hard ref, Johnny Truth, man.
whatever it takes, man. 1, 2, 3. That's all I
One,
gotta
two,
do.
three. It's all you gotta do, man. Yeah,
That's
that's
all I gotta do.
so when it comes back, when you dive back and you look back at, older pay-per-views or older shows, is there like one match
Come
that
back,
real
baby. Come
that
back.
is there one match that stands out, like
Hmm.
from, old WWE's, WCW, anything, like
Like a favorite of mine,
ECW? Yeah, well, I mean, and it's,
There's
I'm not
something you
saying,
could go back and watch it like any
bro,
random
bro,
yeah,
moment.
bro.
just one match that just
I
is like
I shit
perfect
you
for
not. I
you.
shit you not. I was in the timeline of it all. It was when Bobby Lashley got the push to do the Donald Trump match with the hair and Umaga and Vince. So this is an episode of Monday Night Raw. I'm in high school. I'm like,
Mhm.
I want to say I'm either a junior or a senior. Let's just say I'm a senior in high school. I'm either 17 or 18 years old. There is no one around me watching this with me. I'm by myself. Okay. Now, I'm on the edge of my seat because Bobby Lashley is in a gauntlet match to win back his title from Vince McMahon. And the only way he gets a title shot is to defeat 3 people in a row. So out
Mhm.
comes Snitsky, who I don't know if he was going by Snitsky at that time, but it was Snitsky. And Bobby beat Snitsky. So I'm like, all right, we got some momentum. We got some momentum. Who's next? The scariest music next to Undertaker's hits on the speakers, and it's Umaga's. Umaga
Oh
used to
yeah.
give me like nightmares and the heebie-jeebies. So like, I'm feeling for Bobby. I'm like, damn, this is gonna be a tough one. You know what I mean? He's already banged up from wrestling Snitsky, and
Right.
I think he was going as a different name back then, but whatever. So Umaga comes out. In classic Umaga fashion, he says, the hell with this match. I'm DQing myself just so I can kick the shit out of Bobby. So I'm thinking he's toast. He's breakfast toast, right? It don't even matter who walks out. I already know who it's going to be, but it don't even matter who walks out. This person's beating him in the third match, and he's not going to have his title shot because they're going to screw him because they've been screwing him left and right. And Shane O'Mac comes out, and it's the stipulation is probably something like, no DQ, false count, any one of those. And
Right.
Umaga's out there helping Shane kick the shit out of him. And something had happened. Umaga was off the screen or whatever. Maybe Bobby got him out of there. And Shane got back over on him, and he cues up the coast to coast. Well, wouldn't you know it? Bobby springs up, catches him in the air, spears him 1, 2, 3, and I left my seat. I got up and I jumped for joy and I screamed. And it's like 11 o'clock on a Monday night in my house, and I was probably waking up my parents when I did it. But I don't
Oh,
think
damn.
the pure adulation is the right word. Adulation,
Yeah, it sounds good to
Yeah,
me,
that
pure
sounds
man.
adulation.
that
Yeah, let's
works.
use that. Let's run it.
Fuck yeah,
Let's
The
bro.
go
pure
with it.
adulation, the happiness that came over me.
The pure
You know,
adulation,
if I
Johnny
could just
Pierce.
bottle that moment up and try to give it to a fan in one of my matches, that would be a full circle moment.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, I've definitely uh, had some fun moments watching you, and like I said, like I mean, definitely as a heel, like I love just listening to you respond to the crowd. You're really good at just like, which is I'm always impressed with, just being able to come up with something fun or clever, just like interacting, because like you were saying, that's sort of what it's all about, is like finding those moments and interacting, and just like building that rapport with the audience, because I mean, I've like I said, I've been impressed, and I've always enjoyed it. That's one of the reasons I really wanted to get you on here, because you have a presence, and it's really cool to see that evolution in both sides of it. Outside of wrestling, though, these are two questions that
Hey,
I know.
actually, real quick, Isaac,
Oh
before
yeah.
you get into that, I just got one more wrestling related
Oh
question.
yeah, yeah,
Go,
yeah.
go, go,
So,
go, go,
so
go.
if you could have a match against anyone, like right now, like
Oh my God, I
WWE,
got
like
this.
who
I
would
got
be
this.
like who would be your guy that you
I've
would want
been
to have a match with?
I've been half joking, half serious, but for all intents and purposes, 100%. It's a concept that I, would be willing to do under the right circumstances. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, wish you would match, right? And then depending on the crowd, like let's say it's an older crowd at a brewery, wish you, uh, wish you fucking would match. You know what I mean? So
I
no
love it.
pads, no pads. This it's just the ring is wood, complete wood. No pads, no nothing. You strip the ring down to the wood, and there's no
Wow.
ropes neither. We don't need the ropes. So on the turnbuckle posts, you have a 2x4 on each one. And for those of you that are mathematicians, I think having a 2x4 on each turnbuckle makes it 2x4, 8, 10, 32. No, my math is wrong.
16.
No. We're gonna get this together. 8 by 8 is 64. By 8 by 8 is another 64. What's 64 and 64?
Oh God.
128.
Let's just run with that. Yeah.
We'll
So
just go
that's good
128
math.
unless you're multiplying.
That's good math. I'd like to see that equation in the math textbook. So you get
All
two
I
by
know,
fours,
is that
It's
he's got a
4,096.
33 in his
or
third chance.
it's a working title, but it's wish you would. I'm open to suggestions. Maybe just one 2x4 in a corner somewhere. But I'd be down for all four. It doesn't matter. So the concept is you can't win the match until you get the 2x4 and use it. Okay.
Okay.
And if Hacksaw was open to it, I would be the guy to get him through that kind of match.
Hell yeah, especially man, you hit him up, and
I have another one.
you got to bill
Yeah.
it, and you do all the money for cancer charity. He would
Yep.
probably do it,
Yep.
honestly.
So we
That
just
would
got
be
to find the
fun.
right people.
So
Now,
what's your other one?
it doesn't matter who it's against because, it just obviously it'd have to be the right person. I just don't have that person in mind just yet. But it would be a no DQ at Dairy Queen.
Oh, that's
Oh, that is fucking awesome, man. God, what a great, well, you could do a great sponsorship time. I mean, that's like,
The only
honestly,
thing,
that
like,
is,
I'm not sure
that's
about
old
is do
school
you
raw.
tell the employees that that's happening, or do you just try to get like their reactions
Oh
as
yeah. I
it's
mean,
happening?
you say, oh, we're gonna
Something's
be filming here.
about to happen.
looks like
Oh,
we're having some.
something's about to happen. That's for sure.
Yeah, we kind of lost him here. He's
Oh, it's
having
all
some
right.
issues.
I'm sure he'll be back in a second.
Oh,
Oh,
there,
here we are. We're regaining
we're getting
our
back here.
connection, but
No
oh,
DQ at a Dairy Queen match, man.
Oh
I
man,
just
old. We gotta keep our composure.
there we go. There we go. Yeah,
he's
the
got-
no DQ at Dairy Queen. I mean, that whole idea reminds me of like when they would anything related to like the APA or whatever, and they'd be out at a bar drinking or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
funny because you mentioned APA. I want to give a quick shout out to. Well, I don't know if I want to shout him out right now. I probably want to call him out, but BA Tatum, BA Tatum. So
Oh yeah,
don't
dude.
be don't be surprised don't know what the hell is going on my phone, but whatever.
You're
Don't
good,
be
man.
surprised when eventually at a tag team division near you, him and I join forces in a modern day APA.
Oh wow, dude! Holy shit! Wow, yeah, dude. He's a fucking big hoss too, man. I love his look, man. He's got a great gimmick.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
now is that
the funny thing about it is my last name is Pierce and his last name is Tatum, so it works on multiple levels.
Oh
All right,
shit.
Isaac.
We're
So
gonna
what
do
did
a
you have?
jersey swap. We're gonna do a jersey swap.
That's awesome, man.
Yo,
And
I
I
saw
mean,
the intro video where you came out the bathroom stall,
hell
and
yeah.
Jobsy and I have thrown around a babyface tag idea where we would be John and Jonathan Schitz, Schitz,
Yeah.
and we'd be brothers who constantly play battle shits in the stall next to each other, and we would wrestle tag, and when we come to the ring, there's a piece of toilet paper taped to our boots, and we
Oh, that'd
give
be
each other
great.
Nutella handshakes.
Oh man,
Uh,
and you could be getting ready to do a move, and you have to put the guy down and tag out real quick and run off to the bathroom.
Yep, newspaper.
and then you
Be
hear
like,
Got the
like a whoopee
newspaper.
cushion or some sort of
oh
fart
my
sound
god,
effects,
There
and
are so many possibilities there.
oh my god, the shits, man.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Speaking of the shit, so this is one of the questions that Shane always asks. What's your go-to just like macro brew beer? Like are if you're just grabbing one at the gas station, what are you grabbing?
We're talking beer.
Yeah, man.
Um, so little do you guys know, I am 8 years sober from
Well,
that.
good
that's
for you.
congratulations. Oh my god. Well, then there
But
you go. That's a great answer.
when I was kicking them back, I would reach for like a Leinenkugel summer shandy because I like the
Yeah.
taste. Uh, I like the nice Stella Artois because it was smooth. Um,
There
that's
you
pretty
go.
much my go-to
No,
beers
man.
right there.
Your first answer was is the best answer you could give, man.
Good for
That's a
you.
really good one. The other question that Shane always likes to ask is, what do you get into for music, man? I mean, you're driving down the road, you're heading to all these shows. What are you listening to?
I was big into rap and hip hop growing up, and
Yeah.
when I was in my 20s, I was rapping underground with like freestyles and mixtapes. Never really did much with like performing, maybe like an open mic here or there. But I always wanted to do like a live show. I never really got the monkey off my back. But as I got older, I started listening to country music to like calm me down. So I kind of get worked up sometimes. I need to just unwind and relax, and country music would help do that for me. And if I'm like working out, I want some like heavy, hard rock music.
What are you going to for your heavy shit? What's your go-to when you're working out?
I mean, there's a funny meme going around. I'm just a baby, but with the heavy stuff, I'm just a baby. I'm getting more in tune with it. Um, a lot of the Johnny Pierce entrance songs I use when I can use like a copyright is Linkin Park. So there's
Uh-huh.
Oh,
some
okay.
Linkin Park songs that go in pretty hard. Lying from You is a really good one for me, and fighting myself.
Yeah.
Those two get me going. Hard rock. My girlfriend usually plays the screamy music, so
There
whatever's
you
on her
go.
playlist.
Nice, man. Well, Shane's a big metal fan, so I wanted to check. And me, I'm a big old school hip hop too. But what do you listen to for country though? Are you like an old
Oh my
classic
God,
country, or are you like
Chris Stapleton, Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen.
okay,
And
getting into a
yeah,
lot of the newest country?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
old stuff. Like every now and then I'll find a bop, but like
You know what my number one, and it's my karaoke jam, and it's just number one in my heart when it comes to country music is Hank Williams Jr. Country Boy Can Survive.
I'll
That
have to look
shit.
it up. You can send it to
Oh my
me.
god. Yeah, yeah, I will, man. there's a few of them. Like All My Rowdy Friends is Settled Down is good, and Family Tradition is really good. But Country Boy Can't Survive is just one of those fucking songs that every time I hear it, I can't help but laugh and fucking enjoy myself. It's a classic. But yeah, we talked to the Godfather, and oh fuck, what is the guy's name? There's the old country music singer who's just like crazy racist. And Godfather was like, yeah, he's one of my favorites. And I was like, all right, man. Oh, he's awesome though. But yeah, it was very fun. I was like, oh, I was not expecting that for an answer, but yeah. Man, so we have one last thing we're gonna do here. We don't want to take up any more time. You've been working hard all day. You gotta get some food. You gotta, kick back a little. But DDJ and I, we have a tradition on the show, and it's called Picks or It Didn't Happen. DDJ, like I said, has been a wrestling fan for decades now, and being in Chicago, he gets to go to a lot of events and meet a lot of pro wrestlers. So I try every week to see if I can find a wrestler who he has not had a picture with. Normally, I can't find him, so we're gonna try today. You want to cue the music, and then we'll say we'll say the wrestler for today.
I've had the clicker hovering over it since you
Let's
brought it
go.
up. So
Let's go. It's time for Picks or It Didn't Happen with Isaac. Hey, that's me. That's me. Well, this week I'm going big. I'm going for the champ himself. Do you have a picture of you and Cody Rhodes?
Do I have a picture with Cody Rhodes? Let's find out.
Yes, you do.
But wait.
Oh man,
more.
you got more of them. Oh my god. Oh man, you got the whole crew.
I'm not done yet.
Jesus. Yo, man, you're gonna keep going, aren't you? Jesus
now I'm
Christ.
done.
That's you okay. So you got a few with him, man.
Yes, Cody's my guy. I love Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, man. It's been fun to watch. His comeback to, I mean, honestly, talk about like a story, like even if it's unintentional, like the actual true story of him, leaving WWE and just going out and fucking
Betting on
creating it.
himself.
Yeah, and creating his own fucking path and taking it all the way back full circle and fucking holding that belt. Really, really fun to watch. What I want you to take a second, plug your social stuff and any shows you got coming up, because I know you got a couple coming up here. You got something going on probably in Barton, and are you in Barton and Barry?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I want to say in that order.
The 7th and 8th, I believe.
Yes, so I'll get there for sure. Socials, Johnny Pierce, Facebook, X, Instagram. There's like a couple underscores that you have to navigate through, but pretty easy to find on there. TikTok too. Upcoming dates. The next one for me is August 30th, which is in Dedham for NCW's Big City Rumble, which we all know is the Pierce City Rumble. Right, say it with me, guys.
City Rumble, baby.
City Rumble.
You're too late. You're too late.
Right.
You're too late. You missed it. You're too late.
Sorry, man. It's the lag.
All right.
Yeah.
Then the next day, the 31st is World of Hurt in like some North Bennington, Burlington, Vermont. One of the
Bennington.
two.
Is that the one with Mick Foley?
It is the one with Mick Foley, and I keep putting it out in the atmosphere. I hope the wrestling gods are listening. I want to do something with the guy. Yeah, I'm thinking promo. I want to put a promo on him.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be incredible. Well, I mean,
Anywho.
just to get to meet him would be really cool too.
I've met him before. So
He seems like
just
the
one time.
sweetest guy.
He's a really, really nice guy. Like too
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
going
you just gotta.
forward.
Oh
Yep.
no, please, please. I was gonna say you just gotta be like, hey man, you gotta do this for the kids. You gotta do a
Nah,
promo with
man.
me for the
Nah,
kids.
man. Not my kids. Not my problem, man. No, what I was gonna say is in September. Wake me up when September ends. I got the 7th and 8th with GM Dub, and then I also have the 7th with ETWA in Stansted, Quebec, Canada.
Oh,
So yeah, I
double,
mean
double
a
duty.
lot of Vermont. Like if there's a wrestling show in Vermont, I'm gonna be on it.
That's awesome,
That's
man.
awesome.
Which is cool for a Massachusetts guy like me. Trying to get up in Maine more often. So I think the radar is picking up some Johnny Pierce on the main radar. So we'll see what
Oh yeah.
happens. Right now it's just like Massachusetts and Vermont and a little bit of Canada. I'd like to try to spread my wings a little more with like Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey, but there's a lot that goes into it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it's. I mean, especially with just trying to work around your schedule and travel and booking and dealing with fucking everything has got to be a full-time job in itself. So,
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
when I got into wrestling, I didn't know. I knew it was going to be difficult. They tell you it's going to be difficult, but I don't think they tell you just how difficult it's going to be. And some of the people I've talked to when I was originally going to do this, they're like, "Oh man, the life of a wrestler, it's like really hard." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And like, it's the most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire life.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, if it was easy, everyone would. There'd be a lot more people doing it. You know what I mean? I mean, that was what was it? What was it? The guy who smacked up the news reporter there. He's like,
Yeah, Doctor
Vader?
Death.
yeah, he's
Dr.
like,
Or
Death.
no, Doctor D. David Schultz.
yeah, yeah. I
Dr.
mean,
D. David Schultz. Yeah.
that was what he said. I mean, he's like, it's
I like
tough.
I
You got to
like
be
that. Like
fucking
I
tough.
like to try to channel my inner Dr. D when I'm doing promo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that I mean, and that I definitely connect there, and I
I
think
can
you're
definitely say like when I first came on the scene, I wanted the person filming my promo to be genuinely scared that something was going to happen to them.
nice, dude. Well, I mean, if you're not selling it to everyone you can, then like, is it going to work? I mean, that's one of the things is like you kind of have to really go big, and like go all in because if you don't, people can tell you're hesitating and holding back.
I'll give you guys a quick laugh. We made the joke the other day up in Maine that Johnny Pierce, the babyface, is like the equivalent of someone who can't dance because they dove into the shallow end of the pool.
Oh my
uh,
god. Yeah. Oh shit.
I was like, "You get me. You really get me." Hey, you guys, let's get a CTE chant going. CTE. What?
Yeah, baby.
CTE.
Wait,
Just
what?
kidding. Just
Huh?
kidding.
What? Who?
Nothing.
When?
Nothing.
I don't
Nothing.
remember.
I've had
Yeah.
0 concussions,
Oh my god. I mean, just being six
bro.
foot three, right? As
Bro.
a 6'3" person working in kitchens my whole life, I don't know how many times I've hit
You
my
hit your head,
fucking
right?
on the cooler door. I worked in New York City for a long time, so all the kitchens are in basements. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've fucked myself up so many times. I've knocked myself
All right.
unconscious, woken up bloody,
You
like
still doing
just
that?
working. Yeah, man. I've been
Be
cooking
careful, man.
for 20,
This right here,
23 years.
this is nothing to mess with. And
Oh
I'll
well, I'm
tell
not hitting my head anymore.
this one
I
quick
gave that
story.
up.
Just be hella careful. One of the matches I believe you were there for was the ETWA Tag Championship that Diego and I won in the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, back.
All right. If you look back at that match, right, very early on, I got concussed. I
Oh
won't say
shit.
who did it, but it's about 5 minutes in, they all started ganging up on me, and the first person to get me actually rocked me, and the lights were on, but nobody was home.
Oh man.
5 minutes.
Damn. Woof. Damn. Well, I mean, that's crazy. And I mean, that's
We
the
worked
thing
like
is
20 more minutes after that.
damn. I remember seeing the match. I mean, it must have been kind of maybe a couple shows apart.
Yeah, I got like bloodied up at one point in the nose.
I saw one too, and I also remember the one where Mullet Man faced King Crab and took that power bomb into the ropes and landed.
Yeah,
just
I
like
asked them, I was like, I had to know. I was like, what happened? And they were like, we're fine. And I'm like, how are you guys fine?
I asked him too,
Yeah, I
because
was
like
gonna
when he
ask
was
you
on
that
the
if
show, it's
you
like the one of the questions I wanted to ask him was like, was that
What happened?
planned? And
Yeah.
what like, and he's like, yeah, it was planned, but it
Yeah.
didn't go
I was
as
like, yeah.
planned. And I'm like, what did you think was
I
gonna
think
happen?
Crab said that he slipped a little bit, which
Yeah.
makes sense because he is a crustacean and he spends
Yeah.
a lot of time in water.
Yeah, he's slimy. I had brought to that show, and I never got to like pull it out and throw it to him, but I had brought a box of crab boil, like the Zatarans fucking crab boil. I was gonna throw at Mullet Man and be like, get him. Oh,
Yo, there
shit.
was a match where he did a handshake with someone, and if he's listening, which I don't think he is, but if he is, next time he does a handshake, I really need him to like squeeze the hand and not let go.
Oh yeah, just do the
I would have
crab
died
claw.
laughing.
Oh
I'd
god,
have
that is
died.
so funny. Well, the guy who I think as any local show that I've seen who has fucking made me laugh, I think harder than anyone is CPA. And fucking doing his fucking tie gimmick where he takes off his tie and does the strip cheese and strips it off and has the next one under it is
the good thing about him, he's funny in and out of the ring. He makes me crack out of the ring.
Oh, he seems great. And you know, he can work, but I mean, goddamn, that shit every time I see it, it fucking cracks me up. It's so funny. And I love that shit. And that's one of the things is, you know, is like that I love about, you know, local independent wrestling, and it's one of the reasons why we love bringing guys like you on
the intimate
here.
connection.
Is that we you know, you get to see all these things, you get to see people taking chances that, you know, like most people won't take. And you know, I know that for me personally, I appreciate what you do. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, not only just to see you do your thing, but to get you here this evening to talk to us and, you know, let other people know. I don't want to keep you any longer because you've been really great with us. And
we can go all night, man. I don't shut up.
I got work in the morning, so I got to be able to get up in the morning.
Yeah, but thank you so much, man. This is truly, truly a pleasure. I can't wait to see you work, and hopefully, I'll see you, you know, beating up on the octopus himself, maybe, you know, and that'd be fun.
Say
but
that, you know, octopuses cannot climb up mountains for very long. We researched it.
That's true.
Out of water, they only last 60 minutes. So,
and I'm sure they're not good with altitude.
It's going to take a lot longer to climb Pierce Mountain. You need about 2-3 hours just to get to that top.
He has eight legs, but man, you better go quick. You better climb quick. But yeah, man, I'm gonna see you at the show.
You know that they only live for 5 years, octopus?
That's crazy, and they're smart as hell too.
Yeah,
5 years. They die after 5 years.
Wow, I had no idea. Well, I'm gonna definitely catch up with you at the show. I want to see you know, grab some merch, especially.
Yeah, man. You guys come check me. DJ, I'll try to get out to Chicago, but
man, you got to get out to Chicago.
At the merch table, intermission, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm definitely gonna come catch you. And again, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you joining us tonight and all your time. And thank you again for, you know, for choosing St. Jude's, and anyone else who show wishes. We'll add the link to them on our podcast when we post it, along with all your socials, so we can help spread the word. And yeah, man, we really appreciate it. All of us here, 5 Star Takes. Thank you so much, man. This has been a pleasure.
It was mutual. You know, thank you guys for having me. Nice to meet you, DJ. Isaac, I'll see you down the road, brother.
Hell yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Thank you so much.
All right. So we're gonna go to our ending here. So thanks everyone for watching, and good night. Oh man, that was fun.
What a lovely fucking guy, man. That was awesome.
Very, very cool guy.
And I gotta say, the backlit dark profile for the first half of the interview really fucking set the mood, and like helped, I think, with that heel persona, man. It was great. That was fucking perfect. So thank you so much again. Thank you all for joining us. Please, I'm going to beat DDJ to this one because he always is the one that says this. Please, not only should you check out 5-Star Takes, like, subscribe, hit the share button, tell all your friends, but also go and take a second and check out the boys over at Shooting Shit. We love them. We're fucking so happy with what they're doing. The 5-Star production machine is always there behind the scenes, making sure everything goes right and that they don't go too far off the rails.
Somebody's got to keep them in line.
Yeah, so check them out too. Big love to Shane. We miss you, buddy. Yeah, DDJ, I love you, man.
I love you too.
Aww.
Legends of the Ring Sting, man. This is a great figure, old school figure. Looks great. It's Sting! Old school Sting from WCW. Guys, you know us, 3/4 of the Shooting Shit team, and we're here with a listener just like you guys. This is Jimmy from Super Powers Comics.
My friend of almost 20 years. He's known him since you were 12.
If you know people in Chicago, you probably know Dennis because he knows half the town, of course. But shooters, if you need action figures, comics, wrestling memorabilia, we just showed you Sting. Superpowers Comics will put up their QR code so you can get a good look at everything they have coming. Give it a shot, shooters. Get your superpowers on and get your comics from our friend Jimmy, who listens just like you.
Attention wrestling fans and fans of Shootin' Shit podcasts. You can now be one of the cool kids by going to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy the official Shootin' Shit t-shirt. Buy it now and be there at ringside.
Hey there, it's DDJ from 5-Star Takes, and when I come up to Milwaukee to see the Brewers play, there's one place that I always make it a point to stop at. Waukesha Sports Cards. Come on, let's go inside and check out what they got. Thank you. Thank you. Be sure to stop by one of their 3 locations or go to www.waukeshasportscards.com. This episode and all episodes of 5-Star Takes are now available on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@5-Star Takes. Be sure to like and subscribe. Get all of your 5-Star Takes news and updates by going to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/SHOOTINSHT. And as always, thanks for watching.